It's working! It's working!
Nationwide 5G is live.
Yeah!
It is predicted that the future of Britain sucks.
Hey, UK. You okay, Hans? Hold on to your crumpets. 3's building the UK's fastest 5G network. Next stop, the future.
What a beautiful day. Brave on driverless cabby with my beautiful stars. Did you see the football last night?
Show me the big dump. I'm an astronaut. Get the map.
It took an alien to make me feel human again. Sort of thing you dream of, isn't it?
One bottle of Emoji Mojo, please.
One of these.
Hey, what's wrong with your face?
Face filter detected.
I'm old.
You ain't getting me with them 5G face filters.
Hey, what's that drug?
Check this out. 5G stream this in nanoseconds. It's a bang.
Yeah, it was like it's a crash.
Let's get a listen. Everyone wants to hear it.
Big man, I know you know.
Here, outrun. New personal best. Smell sequence uploading. Plant-based. Hot towel?
So, is this your first trip to the world? This is my second trip. You should check out the greatest there of this world. This is my favorite show.
Mega download complete. Dinner at Nan's.
On the pedal pitch! Stand right now!
I told you, get free 5G.
It's stupid fast.
Free home life. Romance,
Free. Thanks for calling.
anyone older than 5 sensation?
It truly is a glorious scene here. Thousands of fans have turned up to welcome the nation's heroes.
Join the future. 3's building the UK's fastest 5G network.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. 5G, 5G, 5G. The rollout of 5G obviously has already occurred. You see some of the ridiculous mind control methods in the commercials about how we can download faster. There won't be buffering. These are ways that they've gotten zombies on board to completely dismiss anything involving anything that any one of us tells them about radiation and 5G. And of course, we're not even allowed to really talk about it because we have to leave that to the scientists. But that's why I'm going to play a clip for you. And I think that this clip will be very helpful for you if you have somebody that you know who's sound asleep. And again, I make these videos to try to help wake people up. This should help because if the president himself talking about experiments with radiation done unknowingly on citizens, pretty much using citizens as lab rats. And you'll also notice some of the quotes about science, which you'll find very interesting. And on top of all of this going on with the rollout, with the acceptance in society, they've gotten people prepped for this for a few years talking about it, right? Getting people ready with the commercials and upgrading their phones first before everything goes live, and now everything's live. And then we have the Super Bowl coincidentally being at SoFi Stadium, which is I guess they claim it's the stadium in America with the most 5G. It's like the best reception, the best quality. So it'll be interesting what type of wink wink experiments could possibly be done there, but of course there'll be things that are not seen by the human eye, unless of course you're wearing some type of glasses where you can see radiation in front of you. But let's listen to President Clinton, since the liberal people seem to be the ones, and again, I hate to use the word liberal or Republican, but unfortunately that's what they've done here, is they've divided people into classes because they believe in the left and right. Of course, I do not. But it's the people who identify as liberals who do not believe in any dangers in regards to 5G, but they also don't believe that the government would ever do anything to them. And when you see speeches like this, you can only laugh because they openly admit to doing experiments on humans without their knowing, and of course without their accepting of this, or without them being okay with it. They just do it unknowingly on them. So here is the President Clinton, talking about, not the current president, but President Clinton, talking about the experiments that were done with radiation. Keep a close ear on some of the references like Armageddon, and of course, talking about science.
We have declassified thousands of government documents, files from the Second World War, the Cold War, President Kennedy's assassination. These actions are not only consistent with our national security, they are essential to advance our values. So, to me, that's what this is all about. And to all those who represent the families who have been involved in these incidents, let me say to you, I hope you feel that your government has kept its commitment to the American people, to tell the truth and to do the right thing. We discovered soon after I entered office that with the specter of an atomic war looming like Armageddon, far nearer than it does today, the United States government actually did carry out on our citizens experiments involving radiation.
Get your paycheck up to 2 days early. New when you bank with Huntington.
At Big Lots, shop the Sealy Mattress Collection and get more sleepy nights or wild nights and more good nights. All for less when you save up to $300 on Sealy mattresses. Take one home today. Live big, save lots. Big Lots.
Thousands of government-sponsored experiments did take place at hospitals, universities, and military bases around our nation. The goal was to understand the effects of radiation exposure on the human body. While most of the tests were ethical by any standards, some were unethical, not only by today's standards, but by the standards of the time in which they were conducted. They failed both the test of our national values and the test of humanity. In one experiment, scientists injected plutonium into 18 patients without their knowledge. In another, doctors exposed indigent cancer patients to excessive doses of radiation, a treatment from which it is virtually impossible that they could ever benefit. The report also demonstrates that these and other experiments were carried out on precisely those citizens who count most on the government for its help, the destitute and the gravely ill. But the dispossessed were not alone. Members of the military, precisely those on whom we and our government count most, they were also test subjects. Informed consent means your doctor tells you the risk of the treatment you are about to undergo. In too many cases, informed consent was withheld. Americans were kept in the dark about the effects of what was being done to them. The deception extended beyond the test subjects themselves to encompass their families and the American people as a whole. For these experiments were kept secret, and they were shrouded not for a compelling reason of national security, but for the simple fear of embarrassment, and that was wrong. Science is not ever simply objective. It emerges from the crucible of historical circumstances and personal experience. Times of crisis and fear can call forth bad science, even science we know in retrospect to be unethical. Let us remember the difficult years chronicled in this report and think about how good people could have done things that we know were wrong.
So you can use a clip like that. You can show people you're close to and say, look, you think all this stuff is crazy. You think that these people are just making things up when the government openly admits to doing this type of stuff. These are the people that are supposed to be elected leaders. What you expect from your elected leaders, even though they're selected and not elected, what you expect is for them to take care of you, right? Now, not for the standpoint that the liberals like, where they want themselves completely, they want to be nipple fed by the government, but you expect them to, make sure everything's safe, make sure, everything's regulated, they keep an eye on things, we pay taxes and all this stuff to pay for these people's salaries, and this is what they do in return. They run experiments on people. They tell you it's in your best interest. And now, that speech, in the 90s, what are we, 25 years later, what do we have going on? We have a rollout of 5G. A lot of us warn about the dangers of 5G. We're not trying to give any medical information. We're telling you about 5G because it's factual as far as the radiation and things like that. Doctors, scientists have come out and said they're kind of worried about it. And you could take the word kind of out of that sentence. But they don't want to talk about that. So